Well, the BodyArmor Pro Series is down to 3 races left to go in the 2025 season, and we head to one of the shortest tracks that we will go to all season. It's not quite the shortest one, but it is a short track, no doubt about it. We're here at the Martinsville Speedway. Only 3 races left to go. Blaine Keys with a 23-point lead on Rogaldorn, but he starts deep in the field here today. It's going to be a wild one here on this Thursday night from the Martinsville Speedway. This is race 23 of the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series season from Martinsville Speedway. This is the Virginia 65-kilometer race. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome here to the Martinsville Speedway. We are nearing the end of the season for the BodyArmor Pro Series in 2025, and what a wild race we had a little over a week ago at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, seeing Matt Tuck go to victory lane, and also seeing all of the championship favorites, or most of the championship favorites, get caught up in accidents, including our points leader Blaine Keys, and second in the points, Rogaldorn. And because of that, they did not get a good fastest lap in that event, and they start deep in the field. But guess who did get a good finish in that race? Ladovic Charette. She's going to start in the 3rd position here at Martinsville. Blaine Keys and Rogaldorn starting outside the top 20 for this race here tonight. It's 77 laps here at Martinsville, but there are no pit stops in this event, so where you start means a lot to how you're going to finish on a racetrack such as this. And Blaine Keys has to be very careful to make sure that he puts himself in a position to win this title. And the tricky part about that is he's not really going to be able to put himself in a position until we get to Homestead, and by then it might be too late. So let's see how it all goes down here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Lauren Martinez starts on the pole position alongside Drew Webb. Neither driver has gone to victory lane yet this season in the BodyArmor Pro Series for 2025. An opportunity for both of those drivers. As a matter of fact, of the top 6 starters, only 2 of them have gone to victory lane. That's Carson Miller and Ladovic Charette. They've only won 3 times this year, and we're 22 races into the season as well. So we could very well see our first time there, I should say, here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Here's how they line up in the championship standings after 22 races. Blaine Keys has a 23-point lead on Rogaldorn, exactly how it was going into last week's race at Coca-Cola. Ladovic Charette is 37 points behind. A race victory for her here today will keep her in championship contention. With 2 races left to go, you have to be 50 points or closer to Blaine Keys, or to whoever the points leader might be. In theory, it could be Rogaldorn at the end of this one. And we'll have to see who is still within championship contention going into the Bend next Friday. Ladovic Charette has a very good chance at being within a race win worth of points after this one here tonight. Stuart Gratton's still in it as well, 41 points behind. He's starting a little bit further up in the field, but not as high as he would like. And Matt Tuck is 46 points behind. Of course, he won the last race at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway. He's still in championship contention as well. Andrew Miller also still has a mathematical shot. He's 61 points behind. That is it. Nobody else has an opportunity at winning this BodyArmor Pro Series championship here tonight, or later on Christmas Eve in 21 nights. Was it going to be a Wednesday night when we have that race, or a Thursday night? I think it's a Wednesday night when we have that race. I don't know. I'm out of it. I'm really out of it. You got Lauren Martinez, and you got Drew Webb on the front row right there. Ladovic Charette, Carson Miller in row number 2. Of course, Ladovic Charette with a huge opportunity. If she wins this race, she could very well take the points lead going into the finale if she has a good run at the Bend next weekend. Carson Miller alongside her there, and you got Nicholas Samedeo, Thomas Troxel, Matthew Hubert, and Isley Nichols. There's Jack Haas and Juan Romero. That's the top 10 starting here tonight. LJ Cemento, Justin Seidel there in row number 6. Here's Alonso and Logan Williams in row 7. You got Stuart Gratton on the inside lane here in row number 10. Leonard Kochmer and Matt Tuck ahead of him. He's the only one, other than Ladovic Charette, who's in championship contention, who really does have a semi-decent place starting. And I only say that because he's on the inside lane, but it's going to be tough to work your way from the back to the front here tonight. Matt Tuck on the outside lane there. Rogaldorn starting 22nd. Blaine Keys, our points leader, starting dead last in this race. They're in the 24th position. Andrew Miller there starting in 23rd. Of course, he has been very successful on these flatter, shorter tracks that we've had this season. A lot of the mile-long racetracks he's had a lot of success at. We'll see what he can do there starting all the way back in 23rd. But Lauren Martinez and Drew Webb with an opportunity of getting a race victory here tonight. And this race is actually going to be longer than tomorrow night's race in the Truck Series, so it's going to be a very fun one here for Martinsville because the way these guys stack up on the starting grid is going to promote for some very good racing because you're going to see guys like Matt Tuck, Stuart Gratton, Rogaldorn try to work their way through the field. Blaine Keys as well. Try to get some points. Only the top 10 finishers receive points in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Will they get there after 77 laps and no pit stops? That's the big question. We're going to find that out here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here in the Virginia 65K. And of course, Lauren Martinez with an opportunity at her first win of the season. She got into the Pro Series for winning the Elimination Series a year ago. It was well over a year ago when she won that championship. An opportunity getting some of her first points in quite some time here in the series. Only 52 total points for Martinez, only 33 total points for Drew Webb. Neither driver has had hardly any success this season in the BodyArmor Pro Series, but they got an opportunity here tonight. Watch out for Ludovic Charette, and watch out for Nicholas Amadeo. I think this is a good opportunity for Nicholas Amadeo to possibly steal a race victory. Of course, Blaine Keys is now 2 race wins ahead of everybody, with 33 career wins after his win last Friday night at Chicagoland. So we'll see how that all shakes out as we're underway here at the Paperclip on a Thursday night in the BodyArmor Pro Series from Martinsville Speedway. Pretty even start there between Martinez and Drew Webb. Drew Webb actually had the advantage at the start of the race. Lauren Martinez is going to lead lap number 1. Ludovic Charette with a great run in the 00 machine, trying to get only her second win of the season, which is kind of interesting to think about how good she's been this season. 13 top 10s, the same amount there as Blaine Keys. But she's got an opportunity at win number 2, got her first win and only win so far this season at Kentucky, where she absolutely obliterated the field. There's an opportunity for her to do that here tonight, and she's going to make that pass on Lauren Martinez look easy, and now looking to pull away from the rest of the field here at Martinsville. Carson Miller with a nose to the inside of Drew Webb, and Lauren Martinez almost looking to go 3 wide for the second position, and he is going to make it 3 wide for second. As Drew Webb slides up in the Martinez, got to be careful off the exit of the corner. A little bit of contact there between those two drivers. Carson Miller with a huge opportunity here tonight, getting his 3rd win of the season, as Drew Webb and Lauren Martinez both on the outside wall. Carson Miller overshot the corner, and Nicholas Amadeo is looking for the 2nd position on the driver, the number 21. Matthew Hubert up here as well. Also recently got his first win in a rating series, won Atlanta in the Truck Series a couple of weeks ago, is currently the points leader, looking to win the Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship in 2025. Does not have an opportunity at the championship here in the Pro Series, but I know he'd love to get a race victory as a driver here tonight. As Nicholas Amadeo is going to get around Carson Miller there for that position. Jack Coz, LJ Cimento there. Not a good start of the race for Lauren Martinez and Drew Webb. Got into each other there, and heavy damage on the 18 machine. And here comes Hubert looking to the inside for second on Nicholas Amadeo, as Ludovic right now has a 1.5 second lead, 1.6 seconds now for Ludovic Charette, looking to get those 25 points towards the championship. It would be a 12-point lead going into the bend for Ludovic Charette, trying to close up the Blaine Keys. Blaine would still have the points lead as Carson Miller has an issue. Nothing on the chat log, which is interesting. Not entirely sure what's up with the 21, but he is down the pit lane as they continue the battle for the 2nd position. Nicholas Amadeo to the inside of Matthew Hubert. It's LJ Cimento who's now up to 4th. Ergel Alonso there, and don't look now, here comes Stuart Gratton, who's also still very much in championship contention. Remember what I said, he started on the inside lane in that 35 machine, and he has moved himself through the field fairly quickly, up to the 8th position right now. He's 41 points behind Blaine Keys. Of course, he's going to also have to fend off with Ludovic Charette as well in this championship. Blaine's up to 15th after starting in the 24th position. Matt Tuck is up to 14th in the 54, and Rogaldorn is 16th, so not too bad considering where those drivers started. 11 laps into this race as Juan Romero is also now down the pit lane. And he has significant damage, actually completely repairing that car in the 87. He's going to go multiple laps down. Matthew Hubert, as you got Alonso going to the inside of LJ Cimento right there. Here comes Drew Webb looking to take a spot away. These guys are tapping that outside wall. And these guys are a little bit more aggressive tonight than they are in the Wall Walk Cup Series and in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We can let them loose a little bit more than normal because this is not a race that requires pit stops. And Drew Webb sliding up into Cimento. Cimento going to hit the outside wall again. That's going to open the door for Stuart Grattan to get yet another position. And Stuart only 4 seconds behind Ludovic Shred at this point. We could very well see a caution in this race, and if that ends up being the case, that could put Stewart in the position to actually have a shot at this race victory, and that ends up being the case. Stuart Grattan's going to be within a race win worth of points of the points lead going into his home race at the Bend next week. And speaking of the Bend, of course, this race determining the starting lineup for that race, you have Logan Williams right now with the fastest lap of the night. Hergel Alonso second. Stuart Grattan fourth fastest lap. That's a great starting position for the Bend if that ends up holding up. Blaine Keys right now 8th. That is huge for Blaine, trying to find his way up in the running order. Our points leader, or race leader I should say, our race leader, Ludovic Shretton, 9th quickest in this race right now. So it's far from over. Stuart Grattan and Carson Miller. Grattan's in the wall! And a huge hit for Stuart Grattan into the outside wall there with Carson Miller. No caution! They kept going straight. Somehow, some way, we're still green, and that might end the chances for Stuart Grattan in winning this championship. He had himself a great run going. He got sent up into the outside wall. Heavy damage on the 35, and it looks like he's going to end up at least one lap down in an attempt to repair the damage on that machine. Of course, Carson Miller's already a couple laps down. He's one lap down, at least in the 21. Lauren Martinez is now up to 6th. Jack Haas, Logan Williams, Matt Tuck has found his way in the top 10. He's also in championship contention, trying to keep Blaine Keys behind him, trying to close up on Ludovic Charette for this race lead. But Matthew Hubert now starting to chip away at the top position. Only 1.5 seconds now, but he's going a little wide. Here comes Nicholas Samedi, who has been right up here in the top 3 all night long. Absolutely devastating there for the driver, the number 34. Jack Haas is also down the pit lane. Heavy damage on the 50, or the 57, I should say. And it has been a wild race. Nicholas Samedi still going for it there on Matthew Hubert. Unable to get the inside lane to his advantage right there. Ludovic Charette closing in on lap traffic. Juan Romero right in front of her. And she's been going wide off the exit of these corners all night long as well, so nobody is safe. These guys are just really pushing it, especially off the exit of turn number 4. Carson Miller, of course, a lap down, trying to make some moves. He really made a move there on Stuart Grattan, and that is going to take Grattan out of contention. He is still on the pit lane. He's just now coming off. But you got to imagine that is probably going to end his chances at winning this BodyArmor Pro Series championship, especially considering that Blaine is now inside the top 10. Rogel Dorn is not. He is far from being in this position. These guys are really losing it on the tires right now, and we're only on lap 22. Logan Williams got shuffled out of line. He's all the way at the back of the field. Rogel Dorn all the way back in 18th. And Blaine Keys is closing back in as they're 3 wide here. Leonard Kochmer, Andrew Miller, Ace Garcia. This is outside the top 10 and outside of the points. It's a wild racing back here between these drivers. But Blaine has had an excellent night. Started 24th. He's going to the inside of Matt Tuck now for 7th. And Blaine Keys wants to seal this thing next week at the Bend. And he's got an opportunity at being close enough. The problem is, Ludovic Shred is still dominating in this race. She's going to have to get around some lap traffic here, though, getting in the Jack Haas there in the turn number 1. At only lap 25 of 77 here tonight. You got Alonso making a move on Nicholas Samedi there for the 3rd position. Another driver who has not had a good run here in the Pro Series, Sergio Alonso. Of course, that's the other car there at Grattan Autosport officially here in the Pro Series. Going to take that 3rd spot away from Mr. Edge. LJ Cimento still running in the top 5. This would be his first top 5 of the season. He's the only driver this season not to finish top 5 in any race here in the BodyArmor Pro Series this season. Up there to the 5th position. Lauren Martinez has some front-end damage. She is 6th. Blaine Keys is up to 7th, but 9 seconds behind our race leader of Ludovic Charette. Of course, Matt Tuck's still there as well in the 54 machine, running 8th. You got Thomas Troxel and then Leonard Kochmer rounding out the top 10 as they currently run. Ludovic Charette has to be careful there with Juan Romero in the 87. Matthew Hubert trying to close in and have an opportunity at this race victory. When we had the Wall Cup Series here back in March, it was a while ago, when we had that race between Daniel Paulus Jr. and Matthew Hubert for the race win. Teammates right there. Kind of really set forth the rest of the season there for those guys, and Paulus ended up going to victory lane 5 times, and Hubert did not get a race victory. But he came oh so close to getting in. If there was one more lap, he would have been the race winner. Might be the race winner here tonight, though. That 15 machine has been very clean cut here at this Martinsville Speedway tonight. And Ludovic Charette's got to be careful around the lap traffic, and we've definitely had some things go on throughout this field that have not brought out any yellows. And surprisingly, Stuart Gratton did not bring out a yellow flag with that incident, and actually would have worked out better for him if it did come out. Probably would have been able to stay in the lead lap. Now he's multiple laps down, 4 laps down, in the last position right now for Stuart Gratton. He still has the 4th fastest lap, but Blaine Keys is up to the 2nd fastest lap and running 7th, looking to take 6th away. What a performance out of Blaine Keys. And last week when we were at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, we thought that he might very well be done because he got caught up in that wreck. We knew he was going to start deep in the field here tonight. Well, he has bounced back tremendously, up to 6th now. Still about 9 seconds off the race lead. But that is a decent chunk of points to at least mitigate the damage on Ludovic Charette, but he's also looking to start up front at the Bend, the place that he won at last year in the Wall Cup Series Invitational Series, so something to keep in mind there for Blaine Keys. He has success at that racetrack, and if he's starting up front, he might have even more success once we get there next Friday night, or Saturday morning if you are in Australia. That's when that race will technically, officially take place. Ludovic Charette, though, has also run a clean race. He's not gotten into the outside wall at all here tonight. Matthew Hubert, though, looking to get around Juan Romero. That's going to be an easy pass for the 15. Now nobody in between the 00 and the 15. Logan Williams, who has the fastest lap in this race, has fallen a lap down in the 83 on pace. I'm wondering if he got caught up in something earlier on and just kind of fell back. This race has just been all over the place. That 83 is way off the pace. Nicholas Samedi almost getting into him right there. Tight battle going on right there. Samedio's still in the top 5. It's been a relatively clean race for him, though I do see a little bit of damage on that 48 machine. And I think Ludovic Charette has the fastest car in this race. But this is not a racetrack where speed particularly wins you the race. So you have seen these guys have been overshooting all night long, and it's been a wild night here in this Virginia 65K. Ludovic Charette still trying to hold these guys off. Matthew Hubert, though, might play spoiler and might actually be Blaine Keys' best friend right now. Blaine's in the 8-point position right there in 6th. And he'd only lose 10 points to Ludovic Charette, and that would be 27 points going into the Bend, which would make it even easier for him to clinch the championship next week, if that ends up being the case. But as it stands right now, with Ludovic Charette still the race leader, that's 25 points. Blaine with 8. It's going to be an 18-17 point game, and it'll be 20 points going into the Bend for Ludovic Charette, trying to close in on our points leader of Blaine Keys, who has still led him the points this entire season in the BodyArmor Pro Series. 1.3 seconds now as Sergio Alonso making a move on some lap cars. That 23 is also really quick. 3 seconds behind as Romero and Jack Haas get into it right there. Nicholas Samedio there on the 48. Try to get around these drivers as well. Hoping for a caution, hoping for something to happen to bunch these guys back up so they have an opportunity. That is exactly what Ludovic Charette does not want right now, because that means Matthew Hubert's going to be right behind her, but it may not really matter because Matthew Hubert might be right behind her here in just a few laps, and this 15 machine continues to whittle away at this race lead. Lap 41 of 77. We're past halfway here at the Martinsville Speedway. And now the race lead is within a second between Ludovic Schrett and Matthew Hubert. Closing in on Stuart Gretton, Drew Webb there, who was our outside pole sitter, all the way back now in the 19th position. He's on the last car in the lead lap, gonna just override it and overshoot it, hit the outside wall again. A lot of damage, and there's your caution. There's your caution. Who was it and where? Oh my goodness. What an opportunity now for Matthew Hubert and even Sergio Alonso in the 23 to possibly steal this race victory. And you know what? These guys are going to take the opportunity to get fresh tires. And even though they were good to go to make it to the end, they know how important it is to have fresh tires on a racetrack such as this. And they're going to come down the pit lane here. So we're going to have some wave arounds. It's going to play in the Nicholas Samedio's favor, LJ Cimento, because all our race leaders are going to stay in line here. This will be the only pit stop of the night. A little bit of a surprise to have this pit stop, but at the same point in time, you can see how those guys are sliding around, and they know they need some good tires, Goodyear tires. Are they good tires? Is anything good in NASCAR anymore? I mean, for real. Ludovic Schrett only right sides on that 00 machine. Alonso's going to be second off the pit lane. Matthew Hubert's going to be third, so a swap there for the second spot. Nicholas Samedio. Matt Tuck's going to jump Blaine Keys. Keep in mind, Matt Tuck's still in this thing, trying to pull away from Blaine, and in some capacity in this race. He cannot lose too many points, because like I said, if you're 50 or more, well, if you're 51 or more, you're out of contention to win the title after tonight. So Matt Tuck does not want to be in that position. Going to wave those three guys around. And Ludovic Schrett's going to be a race leader here with Alonso in second, Matthew Hubert, Nicholas Samedio, Matt Tuck, and Blaine Keys there in sixth. Blaine is in the mix to win this race now in that 14 machine. It's going to be a wild fight to the finish. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring it out here. The Martinsville Speedway, then get back to racing with about 30 laps to go in the Virginia 65-kilometer race. You're going to hear me say that I didn't know what happened. Oh my. Blaine Keys gets into Logan Williams. And Logan was already a lap down here. Blaine just overshot it up him the turn number one. This brought out a caution. Stuart Gretton did not. I'm wondering if something's going on up there in the control booth. You need to get the FBI involved in it. Blaine Keys taking out the 83, but Blaine's going to retain his position. Get a restart here, trying to move up, trying to close up to Ludovic Schrett in this race so that she does not close up too much in the championship. It's going to be an interesting race from here on out. See if Blaine has an opportunity of doing so here at Martinsville. And one more time for good measure, I don't have a co-commentator tonight, but Blaine Keys going bowling with his good buddy Logan Williams. They're actually not teammates anywhere. Yeah, they're both with GRT affiliates in the truck series, I guess. But not friends there. And Blaine Keys going to take out the 83, who was already struggling here tonight. And we have ourselves a cycle of pit stops. I'm going to shake things up a little bit. Ludovic Schrett still out front of the double-seater. Let's see what she does on the restart here in the Virginia 65-kilometer race. And here we are, back at the Martinsville Speedway. It'll be exactly 30 laps to go here in this Virginia 65K. I tell you, things just got very interesting in terms of this race specifically, because Ludovic Schrett's been the dominant driver of the night. Now all of a sudden it's Sergio Alonso who's second. Looking to get his first win as a driver in a long time. I forget when his last win as a driver was on AG the channel. Matthew Hubert won less than 2 weeks ago. Nicholas Samedio looking to get win number 32 of his long and storied career. Blaine Keys looking to get win number 34 here tonight. We'll see how it all goes down. You got Matt Tuck there in fifth as well, who essentially needs to finish ahead of Blaine to stay in championship contention. That's not going to happen, as Blaine is jumping right off the start of this race. Start of this restart, I should say. Getting around Matt Tuck. Now he's got a nose to the inside of Nicholas Samadillo, and he's coming for Ludovic Charette. Will he go last to first here in Martinsville and get his 34th career win on AG the Channel here tonight? Ludovic had a good restart, holding off Alonso for now. Matthew Hubert still in third. Blaine Keys trying to close in on all these guys. He's got plenty of time to do it. A little wide off the corner, though. Nicholas Samadillo back to the inside. Wants to close back in on the all-time wins list battle. Nicholas has been a little bit slow the past couple of years in that regard, especially in comparison to Blaine Keys. These two have been racing since the beginning, essentially, as here we go! For the race lead, Alonso into the quarter panel. Ludovic Charette, who went wide, and Alonso looking to take the race lead here on lap 51. Here comes Matthew Hubert, and are we going to go 3 wide for the race lead here in Martinsville? Not quite. Alonso still to the inside. Now we might go 3 wide for the race lead. Hubert really pushing it, and Alonso getting into it with Ludovic Charette, and the caution's back out again. Blaine Keys had to check up. No significant damage on the 14, at least none that wasn't already there. Matthew Hubert takes the race lead, and Ludovic Charette's going to get out of that one in third. But somebody's not going to be happy with the driver, the number 23 after that one right there. The 2 race leaders getting into it off the exit of turn number 4. And Alonso actually crossed the line in second, so he's going to stay in the second position. Pandemonium across the line there. Hubert won the race back to the line, and then Alonso crossed the line in second. Samadillo crossed third. Ludovic Charette and Blaine Keys, the top 5. Matt Tuck is in 6th. All of a sudden you got Justin Zeidel up here. I think Sametto was originally in third, and he's out of the race. He got caught up in that one. Such a shame there for LJ, who was looking to get his first top 5 of the season. It's been a rough season for LJ Sametto here. Not only, it's just all around for LJ Sametto in the Cup Series and the Truck Series this year. Here in the Pro Series, it has not been a good run for LJ at all. My oh my, what a race this has been. And this is the BodyArmor Pro Series at its finest. This is how it goes here. Guys beating and banging, and you know, we're only about a month away. About 6 weeks away from the opening of the 2026 season at South Boston. And let me tell you, I'm sure last night's race was a lot of fun in the Lenovo Pro Series. It's going to be a lot of fun once we get that opening up here in about 6 weeks. Assuming I can get all the cars painted for everyone. I've been so out of it past few weeks. We're going to get there. Going to be a great year. We're going to have some fun as the Wawa Cup Series is less than 2 months away from the Metal Yellow Smooth Fest. How about that? Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution of the night. Our 2 race leaders getting into it off the exit of turn number 4. We have seen this all night long. These drivers just overshooting turn 4, more so than usual. And in case you didn't realize, we have the strength set up just a little bit more than we do when the Cup Series comes here. So these guys going a little crazy. Alonso just pushing up into Ludovic Charette there off the exit of turn number 4. Matthew Hubert drives by. Yeah, I've actually gotten a piece of Alonso right there. And the good thing for both of these drivers is they do not have enough damage to knock him out. However, for LJ Sametto, so front end hit there for the 94, that actually is going to take Sametto out, which is such a shame for him. He was running top 5 in this race, only 10 points on the season, and we're 23 races in. And once again, he's going to fail to finish. Blaine got a little bit of that one. That's the second one tonight for Blaine. Definitely a tough break there for all those guys involved. But both Alonso and Charette still going to essentially be in the... Well, they're both going to be in the top 5 here. They're not going to retain their specific positions, but it's Matthew Hubert who won the race back to the line. Replay it one more time. And once again, I kind of could see this coming from a mile away almost when Hubert peeked it in there, and Alonso thought he had to clear up, and Ludovic Charette was still there, and right there, LJ Sametto. It's just a shame for the 94. As I mentioned or will mention. It's just been such a tough year for LJ Semedo in every series, and he's essentially almost finished dead last in every series this year. Poor guy. Tough break for all those guys involved. But we still got a race to run. Matthew Hubert out front here in the Virginia 65-kilometer race. We're back here at the Martinsville Speedway, Thursday night in December. First Thursday in December. Of course, the first Friday in December. That's always the Truck Series race here. That's tomorrow night. This guy is your points leader over in the Turkey Hill Truck Series right now. Huge opportunity for Matthew Hubert to win the Truck Series championship. That's going to be big for him. And he's not returning to the Wawa Cup Series as a driver. He's going to be an owner next year. So, what an opportunity for him. What an opportunity for Ryan Durrani as well to win a championship as an owner with Matthew Hubert driving the truck. It's going to be pretty cool to see how those last three races go down. We'll see how our last three races go down. What a jump out of Matthew Hubert, ahead of Hergel Alonso, Nicolas Amedeo, and Ludovic Charette. Blaine Keys is there, trying to seal out Matt Tuck from this title. Matthew Hubert is gone in the 15 machine, but he's got to be careful not to get too excited. Here comes Nicolas Amedeo in the 48, looking to the inside for second on Hergel Alonso. And Nicolas has one of the cleanest cars on the racetrack right now. These guys have just been into each other all night long. Here comes Ludovic Charette trying to get back to the inside of Alonso for second. And look at who's right behind this 00. It's Blaine Keys. Nicolas Amedeo going a little wide on Alonso. And Blaine's going to get into Ludovic off the exit at turn number 4. Oh my goodness, and Ludovic's going to be out of this race. That is going to end her chances at getting this race victory. And Blaine Keys, of all people, you know, at the beginning of the season back in January at South Boston, Blaine Keys got into Ace Garcia. And that's what essentially started this whole season for Blaine in his attempt to win this championship. Well, that's one way to make sure your competition doesn't have a chance, is just take them out. And I tell you what, Ludovic Charette is going to be beyond livid after this one here tonight, because she just got taken out by both Alonso and Blaine Keys, who's the points leader. Blaine is still in the top 10 looking to get points. That is going to benefit Matt Tuck, who is now ahead of Blaine Keys on the racetrack, looking to gain in the points. And by the way, in all of this, Rogold Orange has been nowhere. All the way back in 15th, he's been stuck behind a lot of these guys, and my goodness. You got to feel for Ludovic Charette. He is out of the race now here on lap 61, and Justin Zeidel just blew up in the 86. What a shame. You know, he's had one of the cleanest races of the night, and the engine went bad on the 86 machine. Pure pandemonium here at Martinsville Speedway. Justin may actually get a lap led out of technicality here. This is one of the strange things. Not quite. Not quite. There's no bonus point for leading a lap in the BodyArmor Pro Series. You got to finish, and that is something that Ludovic Charette is not going to do here tonight. But Blaine Keys still out there. Spun that 00 right into the inside wall off the exit of turn number 4. Third caution of the night. We're closing in on the end of this race. Getting down to the end of it. Matthew Hubert is your race leader. Nicolas Amedeo is second. Hergel Alonso, Matt Tuck, Lori Martinez, Thomas Troxel, Blaine Keys, Ace Garcia, and Vinny Schultz. Does Ace Garcia have it in him to get revenge from South Boston back in January? Does he have that in him right here? We're going to have to see. Vinny Schultz looking to get a point as well. You got Andrew Miller trying to... He's got to get up to Blaine. He's got to pass Blaine and gain 11 points on him to stay within contention to have a mathematical chance at the championship. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. My goodness. Let's see what happened. Bring out this third caution of the night here at the Martinsville Speedway. Maybe we'll get this thing finished. Maybe we won't. We'll just have to see. Matthew Hubert still out front here in the Virginia 65K. Blaine Keys 2025 meet Brian Vickers 2011. I tell you, this is all three all three of our cautions so far tonight have involved in some way the 14. 2 of them have been his fault. And Blaine just overshooting it on Ludovic Shred. Maybe Ludovic came down there, but this is going to take Ludovic out of the race. And it's not necessarily the first hit, though it was right into the inside wall head on. She got hit again from the rear. Blaine managed to cross the line just behind Troxel. He's going to lose a few spots, but he is still going to be in the top 10 in this race. Leonard Koshmer, and then right there, Atlanta winner Isaac Nichols with nowhere to go in the 88, and then nowhere to go for Juan Romero behind. Nathan Stapleton's already got damage. I don't know what happened, though, in there. We never really got to see in that. Been a bit much happening on the track for us to review. Matthew Hubert's still going to be out front, though, on the 15. It's going to erase that pretty significant lead that he had. And it's going to erase Ludovic's chances of winning this championship. There's a good chance that she actually might. Yeah, if Blaine Keys still ends up finishing top 4 in this race, it's going to be 50 points there, and Ludovic might not even have an opportunity when she had a shot at being within 12 points of Blaine going into the bend. It has definitely been a wild one here at Martinsville, and it's not over yet. And one more time for good measure. Blaine Keys. Oh my. You're not going to win this championship. And you know, I just kind of thought about this. You remember last year in the Walla Walla Cup Series, it was Ludovic Stretton and Blaine Keys going for it. Blaine does not want to lose to Ludovic again, and he made sure of it right there. Going to keep himself in the race, and Ludovic's going to be out. Going to be wild to see how it shakes up in the points when this is all said and done. Matthew Hubert still out front. Let's see what happens on the restart here in the Virginia 65-kilometer race. Back again here in Martinsville. We're going to restart with 13 laps to go. We went the first half of this race caution-free, even though we did have that incident with Stuart Gratton that took him out of contention. And then we had ourselves our first caution, and I still don't know what happened. You guys saw what happened with that caution. And then we had Alonso get into Charette, and then we had Blaine Keys get into Charette to take Charette out of the race. And there are going to be some choice words, because Ludovic Charette had a huge opportunity at really being right there with Blaine going into the bend. Now, Ludovic's not going to get any points, and Blaine has an opportunity at gaining on Ludovic. But on top of all that, we got a race victory to settle here. And Nicholas Samadio's right there on Matthew Hubert. Matthew Hubert, I think in the back of his mind, he's remembering what happened in the Cup Series race back in March. And he's got a chip on his shoulder from that. But you know what? You can't win if you're going to do that. Nicholas Samudio with a nose to the inside, looking to get his first lap lead of the night. He's been up here all night long. He's kept out of trouble for the most part. And now he's got an opportunity of getting his 32nd career win on AG the Channel. To the inside of Matthew Hubert for the race lead. It's now 11 laps to go here in Martinsville. And Nicholas Samudio looking to take it away from Matthew Hubert. Here comes Hergel Alonso in the 23. Matt Tuck trying to close up, trying to gain on Blaine Keys and trying to remain in championship contention. Samudio a little wide again. Bumping doors with Matthew Hubert. We have seen that not work out at all for some drivers here tonight. But Matthew Hubert's going to slide up even more, still alongside Nicholas Samudio. And Alonso's right here if these two tangle. And he might make it 3 wide for the race lead. And now Samudio's going to get in the Hubert. Alonso's in the wall. And again, the race leaders wreck. Now this time, though, they still cross the line in their respective positions. Matt Tuck's got damage in the 54. Alonso is shown the race leader. Nicholas Samudio, I think, is going to be second. He may actually even be the race. Now he's going to be second across the line, so he's still in contention for this race win. You just got to get up to him right there. I think Matt Tuck might be done. He got caught up in that just enough to take himself out. And this is just, everything is opening up perfectly for Blaine Keys in this race right now, because that 14, though he's gotten caught up in a couple of things, is still going. He's still there in the 7th position, and essentially everyone who is behind him, who still has a mathematical chance at this title, is not going to point here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. My goodness. Alonso peeked it in there 3 wide. He's now the race leader. San Benito, Hubert got into each other. They crossed the line 2nd and 3rd respectively. And all of a sudden you got Thomas Troxel here in 4th. Lauren Martinez is 5th, excuse me. And then Blaine Keys is 6th in the 14. Matt Tuck is still going to be on the lead lap, so it's not quite over yet for Matt Tuck, but time's running out. This is going to be the last restart of the night. And it has to be perfect for these guys if they want an opportunity in a race victory. Blaine Keys has to be careful not to fall outside the top 10 again and fail to point again. But the way it's looking right now, he's going to go back to being over a race win worth of points heading into the bend. And he still has that outside pole for that race, and a race win at the bend with that in mind would award him the BodyArmor Pro Series Championship a race early next week. But first, let's see what happened to Nicholas San Benito and Matthew Hubert, and then we're going to get back to the restart here in Martinsville. Who's going to get it? Nobody seems to want to get it here in the Virginia 65K. Wash, rinse, repeat. I think this might be the first caution that did not involve Blaine Keys, but again, our race leaders getting involved. Nicholas San Benito and Matthew Hubert. And it was just like when Hubert and Alonso and Charette got 3 wide earlier on in the race, and San Benito pushed up on Hubert, and now Alonso is going to be a race leader. But Alonso also took a hit to the inside wall as he crossed the line first. San Benito is going to be 2nd across the line, going backwards. Matt Tuck was going to be 3rd, but he took such a hard hit there that he's actually going to be out of the race now. But Hubert and San Benito are still going to retain their positions essentially. They're going to still be behind Alonso here in the restart, but they will not lose ground as they still cross the line 2nd and 3rd right there. Tell you what, man, this has been a wild race, and it's still not over yet here from the Martinsville Speedway. And here we go again. We already saw it happen. Nicholas San Benito, Matthew Hubert squeezing up into the outside wall. A common theme here tonight. So many guys with damage, but these guys are still going to have a shot at the race win. We'll see what they can do. It's Alonso going for the race win in the number 23. Let's see what he does in the restart here in the Virginia 65K. We're back here at the Martinsville Speedway for the 4th and what will be final restart of the night with 4 laps to go, and judging off the last few restarts, who knows what's going to happen. This has been one of the wildest races we've had in quite some time. This series has been quite wild all season long. It's not an easy championship to win, but Blaine Keys has been the points leader the entire season, and he has opened the door up for him to possibly clinch it next week at the Bend. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Sergio Alonso, Nicholas San Benito, Matthew Hubert, the top 3, Thomas Troxel, the top 5. No one in the top 5 has won a race this season in the Pro Series. One of them, I think, is going to win. It may be Blaine, though, who hasn't won since February. Going to take 5th away. That's 10 total points. And for the race lead, Nicholas San Benito had a nose. Not enough to get to the inside of Alonso. Matthew Hubert is here as well. Nicholas San Benito is going to have an opportunity right here on the 23 for the race lead. Looking for win number 32 of his career. Will he be able to get it? He's going wide. Here comes Hubert. Hubert's got to be careful not to wreck these guys. Side by side. 2 laps to go here in Martinsville Speedway for Nicholas San Benito. Matthew Hubert does not want to finish 2nd again in Martinsville. He finished 2nd to Daniel Paulus Jr. in the Cup Series back in March. San Benito sliding up again. Here comes Hubert. White flag in the air for Nicholas San Benito here in the Virginia 65K. Trying to hold the inside, trying to keep Matthew Hubert behind him. The caution came out. That's it. That was for the race win. Don't know where or what happened right there, but the caution flying on the last lap, before the last lap. And it's going to be win number 32 for Mr. Edge. Nicholas Samadeo is going to hold off the field and win the Body Armor Pro Series here at Martinsville Speedway. It's Nicholas Samadeo winning the Virginia 65K. Oh my goodness, what a race. We got robbed of a finish right there. It got wild at the end of this one here tonight. Blaine Keys is going to finish in the 4th position, by the way. That awards him 12 points. Roland Oren got nothing. Ludovic Charette got nothing. Stuart Grattan got nothing. Matt Tuck got nothing. Blaine Keys got 12 points. He's going to have a 35-point lead going into the bend. And all he needs is 26. And he is the champion next week here in the Body Armor Pro Series. But Nicholas Samadeo just got himself a race victory. It's always a good night when Nicholas Samadeo goes to victory lane on AG the channel. It's been a little while. He did win an IndyCar race at Kansas earlier this year. This is the first time I've called Nicholas Samadeo to victory lane since last November. It's been over a year. But he finally got one, and what a wild one to get here at the Martinsville Speedway. I tell you what, I was not expecting it to be quite like that. But my goodness, that was some fun action here at Martinsville, wasn't it? I don't think tomorrow's race is going to quite be like this. I hope Caleb is smart enough to not do that. But hey, this series is a little bit different. I'm going to go to Zen Joltis for crying out loud. Our Martinsville race over here on the Pro Series is going to be a bit wild. And Nicholas Samadeo, he got spun around. He was going backwards across the line with 10 laps to go, and he still got the race victory here. What a wild race here in Martinsville. But all the championship chasers trying to close in on Blaine Keys, they didn't get anything here tonight. And Blaine has put himself in position to clinch this championship next week at the Bend. All he's got to do, essentially, all he's got to do, really, is finish in a podium position, and he's going to clinch the title outright. He needs 26 points on the field, and he's got it made going into Homestead, and then Homestead is not going to be for the championship. We're still going to have it. Of course, it's going to be a fun race there. But I tell you, Blaine Keys, he got lucky here tonight. He took out Ludovic Charette. He did not care. He wants this title, and he's got a huge opportunity at clinching it next week down under at the Bend. Gonna be a fun one in that race. Nicholas Samadeo, how about that for Mr. Edge? Going back to victory lane, only his 2nd win of the year, but his 32nd career win on the channel. He's actually got an opportunity at going back and tying Blaine Keys again, who is at 33, so it's not a 3-way tie anymore. You got Blaine at 33, you got Nicholas at 32, you got Fitzy at 31 now, so they're all in their respective positions up there, but 3 of the best drivers ever to grace the channel here, and they've all been doing it for over a decade, and Nicholas Samadeo gets it done here tonight at Martinsville Speedway. Hope you all enjoyed that one. That was some fun action, and we're going to have some more fun tomorrow night with the Old Dominion 250 in the Turkey Hill Truck Series for Martinsville Speedway. Going to be a fun one there as we look to see how that championship plays out. I don't know how it's going to play out here. I mean, Blaine's in a good spot in that 14 machine to possibly clinch it next week, but we'll see if he can hold on to it. Or will the championship go to Homestead on Christmas Eve? That's the big question. Well, Nicholas Samadeo knows he's the race winner here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. And he is going to celebrate that one. Win number 32 of his career here on AG the channel. And he's going to keep on going here. Only our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, our 13th different winner of the season. So we've had some different ones. Nobody still has won more than 3 races this year, which is quite interesting. And, you know, Blaine started off the season winning the first 3 races. He's yet to go to victory lane since. So we'll see. We'll see if he has an opportunity in the last 2. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I know this race was a bit of a mess, but Nicholas Samadeo just won it, and that's a pretty darn cool thing to see. So congratulations to him on his 32nd career win. Here are the points for the Body Armor Pro Series after however many races it is, 23 races, 2 more races left to go, and then that'll be it for the Body Armor Pro Series in 2025. that's it for me here tonight from the Martinsville Speedway. Thank you for watching here. Congratulations to Nicholas Samadeo on his 32nd career win. And I will see you guys later.